Really make that feel the sound.
You wanna tear the whole house down?
Don't you? It's so dated.
I like it. I think it has character.
Well, a new house would be a statement and ecologically efficient. I mean, these older places are so impractical. It's up to you.
Actually, it's up to my wife. What she says goes. Excuse me.
Sure.
Hey, Ross. Yeah.
I suppose we could reuse some of the existing stone.
Gia. It is Gia, right? I'm sure you're very good at what you do. Otherwise, Christian wouldn't have asked for your input. But please stop speaking of my husband as if I weren't here.
Anna. I have designed many prestige projects.
You may call me Mrs. Gray. And this is not a prestige project. This is going to be our home. So, if you want this job, I suggest you stop making eyes at my husband and keep your hands to yourself. Or you can go and climb back into your colored car and drive back to Seattle. It's up to you.
Look, I'm sorry, Mrs. Gray, but I would never. It won't happen again.
Everything okay?
Yeah. We were just discussing an alternative approach. Something less in your face, more respectful.
Sure. Why don't I start over?
You want to see upstairs?
Yeah.
This movie scene is from 51st Dates, 50 Shades of Grey. I haven't seen the whole movie, but this movie scene popped up on my Instagram feed and I was very intrigued, and it actually made me think of negotiation skills when it comes to couples. Firstly, kudos to Mrs. Gray. She used what's called nasty nice, and what that means is you're being polite but being very assertive as a way of standing up for yourself. And as you can tell in that scene, she did that very well. But anyway, back to negotiating with couples. What Blondie did over there was such a rookie move. But it makes logical sense because it's usually the man that holds the finances and is usually the one wiring the money, right? There's a reason why they call the man the head and the woman the neck. Now, the man may typically have the money, and women do too nowadays, right? But it's usually the women that influence the buying decisions. I can go off for an hour on that subject alone, but I'm not gonna get into that. But that's typically how it goes. It made me think of the time when I used to work in nightlife back in my club days, but I also see the same pattern when I would talk to couples, whether it's in a networking setting or the boardroom. They're not too different, okay? Aside from the obvious, in the nightlife, there's a lot of sensational things happening, right? Let's start with nightlife. When I used to dance at nightlife, this is what I typically saw. Whenever a couple came in, whether it's a husband and wife, I would see a lot of the dancers whisper amongst each other, or they would just leer from across the club. And I know what's in their mind. They don't want to get themselves involved in drama going up to the couple. Now, there's very few dancers like me that gather up the courage and just go up to them anyway, because it makes sense. If you actually don't know what you're doing, you can get into drama because jealousy can get involved, things can escalate. The way I like to approach these is knowing that if I get a yes from the woman and focusing on buttering up the woman, then that's a double VIP. He would have to pay for both him and his wife if they were to dance with me or negotiate with me, right? Of course, a rookie would think, oh, I need to flirt with the man because he holds the money. But don't think how much a woman influences the man. Typically, when he brings his girlfriend or wife to the club, the obvious is that they're spicing up their life, right? But the man typically experiences pleasure watching his wife being curious and having fun as well. And the fact that his wife and another beautiful woman are together, that just drives a man wild. So yeah, just make it a rule. Wherever you are, if you are talking to a couple, make sure your eyes, especially as a pretty woman, your eyes is always looking at the woman. Many average women get jealous very easily. And then as far as outside of nightclub, I want you to think of the restaurant. Some dating etiquettes that I've learned from mature gentlemen that I went out on dates with. because I notice younger men don't really do this gesture. This is just my observation. But when I'm out with mature gentlemen, after we eat our lunch or eat our dinner, they take care of the bill and then they pass the receipt to me to write down the tip off of their dime. And they ask, how did she do? Or how did he do? A rookie move is if the waitress is flirting with my date just because he has the money. If she really knows what she's doing, she would flirt and joke around with me and make me feel good. Because by the time my date asks me, how did she do? I would put a fat tip to take care of her. And there's another layer to this. You know how Mr. and Mrs. Grey were house shopping? Blondie should have already known that, especially when it comes to house shopping, it's totally the woman's choice. What was it, that thing that Chris Rock said in one of his stand-up gigs? He said, a man can easily live in a cardboard box and be totally fine. The only reason why men purchase homes is because women love homes and men love women. So if you're trying to get the bag, make sure you're very present with the woman. Okay, you get the point. Just wanted to share that fun negotiation tip. But what do you think, my muses? Go ahead and drop a comment.